So with only a couple of days left until the Halloween event ends, we're going to go through the Easter egg that you may or may not have missed in the Halloween event. In fact, we'll start off right here, right now. So the supercomputer here, the thing that is causing this major issues right now, this terminal that the commander calls it, or the dispatcher, dispatcher. You can see here, it's strewn in pieces. In fact, with the previous lobby, you can actually see that this supercomputer or this terminal was actually leaked here. Look at this. It's on the side of the map. I did record something about this, but I just didn't end up making a video because I didn't think there was anything interesting about it. But it was leaked beforehand, so you should have seen the signs. What's the difference between the terminal and the supercomputer? Quite frankly, there is little, if any, discernible difference amongst the supercomputer here and the terminal used in the Halloween event. I'm not even sure if there's a difference between the supercomputer seen in survival lobbies compared to the Halloween event. Let me just quickly check. No, there is a difference. There is a notable difference. This supercomputer here, as you can see, doesn't have all the gubbins behind it and everything. It's more like a stone wall supercomputer, but you can see that this is slightly different, but it's a similar mechanism. You can see the screen and everything. And for those who think there is a difference with the supercomputer in the hardcore intermission lobby, there isn't. It's the same as the one in the survival intermission lobby, and you can see no difference whatsoever. Meanwhile, as this part of the lobby, the event lobby, there is not much to say about here, apart from this looks very similar to, say, the Night 2 map. Though, as you can see, you might be able to see that everything's polluting and everything, like we're in hell. Yes, a bit like Night 2. I must say, though, this part of the lobby has its own soundtrack, which is very cool. And meanwhile, if we go to Night 1, let's do Titus. Now, as you can see here, this castle here looks very, very similar to last year's Night 1, I believe, or Act 1. When I say Night 1 and referring to last year, you know, I mean Act 1. This is no coincidence. I think that this is Umbria's hometown. Now, she sounds American, but I'm canonically saying that she's from Wales. Like, look at this. It's a bit like Wales. Look at this railroad. Looking a bit like Badlands, yeah, sure, but I'm just saying, industrially, a bit like Wales. Now, we're not going to go through the enemies, per se. That might be a bit too long, but we can still discuss the map itself. The map itself is quite interesting. So as you can see here, here's the terminal where everyone's fighting it, and this is similar to the supercomputer used for the intermission lobbies, but different. And as you can see here, if you look through the portal, this should remind you of something. This is actually the lobby last year. Remember Act 3? You remember how you had to go into a theatre and then you had to further go into another portal, I think, to get into the Act 3 bit of the lobby. They've actually used the Night 3 lobby, and that is the statue or whatever for Night 3. That's still unresolved, I believe, in terms of lore, because the developers had to rush the Act 3 part of it because it was a bit unfinished. But as you can see, it's in the lore somehow. And here is the God Cube fragment that's a bit like that Doctor Strange thing from Spider-Man No Way Home. There is some lore behind it. I might make a separate video on it, but it does remind me a bit of No Way Home. And yes, you can see the binary numbers going through it, the zeros and ones, powered by no less our friend the God Cube. In fact, you can see here the zeros and ones in binary are appearing from this, what appears to be this kryptonite type things. You can see that this village here looks like a mining village of some kind. It's not, say, far from, I don't know, a Welsh mining village. And as you can see here, they're mining something that's purple. It's purple residue that's emitting zeros and ones. Could they be mining God Cube things? Could they be enslaved by the children of Exo to mine stuff? We'll see. But as you can see, this purple 0 and 1 stuff, this purpley stuff is all over the scath. It's like they've enslaved whales to mine out God Cube fragments. You can see all of this. If you zoom out, you can even see all of this God Cube things here. Look, here, it's here, and they're all emitting 0 and 1 and sparkling. It's here, it's everywhere. Also, you can see that this is actually a walled mining village. Look at this, all walled off. Clearly, they're trying to protect something here. And yeah, there are floating things in the background because they don't need to put that much detail in. Saves space rendering this map. Oh, look. Pickaxe. Void miner reference? No, just kidding. It's just an average pickaxe mining village, like I said. Meanwhile, if you go to the cutscene here, you can see that this is called Eclipse Village. Coordinates 1337, 32, and 9. So the 1337, that's a thing that Below Natural always refers to. This is leet speak, so it's the act of making numbers spell out something. So, leet, speak. An informal language or code used on the internet in which standard letters are often replaced by numerals or special characters that resemble letters in appearance. So, leet, or 1337, is hacker speech. This is just the developers who are great at coding, I must say. But as you can see, Eclipse Village, reference to Umbria, I assume, in the Eclipse, the solar eclipse event. Notes, assume the ground zero for the God Cube. Again, the Umbria, and taken over by a mining company years ago. Wales! Wales is referenced! Anyway, I'm joking, that's not really it. 32, that's an obvious reference to 32. I might make a whole separate video on it. 32. The 9, I'm not entirely sure what the 9 is in reference to. It might have to do something with birthdays. It might have to do something with the month. September? No, it can't be September. I don't think it's a reference to anything. 9. The 9 might be a random number, but do not be too surprised if 9 actually means something in the future. As for this dispatch area itself, there's not too much to say about it in terms of Easter eggs. There's a Bloxy Cola here, yes, but there's also the premium crate that I assume is going to be in the remodel here, down here. And as you can see, Titus is identified, but these 3 characters are not. In fact, here you can see the supercomputer. The supercomputer is far away from the portal. They've had to animate it so it's not as far close to the portal as it is in the game. You can see on their belts though, it says EXO on the characters' belts, but we don't know their names. People have said that they say Maximus, but that's in reference to Titus. I think Titus's name is, yeah, so you heard Maximus. This says 4OB1A, phobia, for Titus, but it's Titus Maximus, I think. I don't know if this is in reference to their surname or their first name. I think it makes sense if it's Titus Maximus, not Maximus Titus. Or it could be Maximus Titus, you never know. But as you can see, that's pretty much it in terms of leaks or Easter eggs in Night 1. We don't know the other people's names, and they've actually changed TDS. Instead of it all being one word, it's T.D.S. It means we're an organization, people. As you can see, the conserver here has the God Cube on its back. I do think it's on the enemy's back as well. As mentioned previously, the lobby closely resembles Night 2, if anything. Much more than Night 1, clearly, and for Night 3, less so. But other than that, there's not really much to say about the Night 2 map, other than you can actually accidentally get stuck up on this spire somehow. So go up here. Well, apparently you can get stuck up here. I think Connor who got stuck up here. Apparently someone got stuck up here when I played this first time. I don't know how they got stuck up here. You'll have to inform me how you did that. Quite frankly, not much to say about this other than strewn supercomputer parts, or the supercomputer and terminal, I think, are interchangeable for this piece of gibbon. But other than that, yeah, not much interested to say about this other than this is the Hell domain. Oh, and I can't lie, it looks a bit like a Nether Fortress. You know, this bridge and everything, these towers, yeah, Nether Fortress vibes. Hell. Oh, and remember Rat's Battlefield 2 with all the falling meteors? Yeah, it's a bit like that. Finally, for Night 3, as you can see, this is the same portal that's used in Night 1, but there is no background here, assuming this has been teleported from Night 2. But the supercomputer here, instead of being green, it's now purple. But it's now far away from the portal. Now, for the map itself, we'll go clockwise, starting from here. You can see skeletons going towards a building that looks like a Night 1 building. Now, if you truly ask me, this looks like a repeat of Night 1, but in a different domain. This might be Night 1, but all the buildings have been flattened. It's like it's been nuked. But as you can see, look, the purple stuff is now blackened. I think this was that mining village that we saw from Night 1, but it's all just been nuked by the portal, by the events of the Children of Exo. They might have committed genocide. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. Look, a gravestone. In fact, this is floating. What? Floating, eh? Kind of black magic powers are going on here. Yeah, so these burning people, or these burning skeletons, they actually might be inhabitants of the former Eclipse Village mining town in Wales, canonically. Yeah, I'm calling it Wales. But as you can see, it's now a wasteland. The important thing, as you can see here, there's the Umbria statue and the Executioner axe that I believe is used for the Eclipse skin. What could this be a reference to? Probably Umbria's transformation into the dark side. Not too much other than it looks like it's standing on a god cube of some kind. And the sun, it's like the Night 2 sun, but with purple energy this time. And look, it's looking up towards the sun. The Umbria is looking up towards the sun, if you notice. It's getting its power from the sun. What's going on here? Obviously floating things in the background because they don't want to render all of that. I'll have to check the night 1 map, see if this statue's in there, but I don't think it is. More burning skeletons. But yes, this is Eclipse Villaged, but nuked out. Yeah, so in the area of where the Umbria statue would be, and assuming that this is oriented correctly, it'll be like this. So actually, might be in this corner over here. There is no Umbria statue. I don't think there is one at least. I'll check all the corners, but there is no Umbria statue. That was placed in after the events of whatever happened in Night 2. Odd behaviour. So that's the Easter eggs, or the lore of the knights. Interesting stuff, I must say.